collapsed of June 9, 68 AD, outside a crumbling villa near Rome. The air reeks of fear and decay. Beyond a rotting wooden door, the most powerful man in the world weeps like a frightened child, his once melodic voice broken, muttering, "Qualis artifex perio? What an artist dies in me." This is Nero, 5th emperor of Rome, reduced to a coward in his final hours. How did a man who commanded legions, burned cities, and murdered his own mother meet such a pathetic end? Step into the poisoned halls of imperial power to uncover the rise and fall of a monster. Before we dive into this tale of survival and suffering, if you're captivated by history's hidden truths, consider liking and subscribing for more stories like this. Comment below to share where you're reading from. It's incredible to connect across time through our shared curiosity about the past. On December 15, 37 AD, a child is born in Antium as dawn's light touches his skin, an omen, Romans later claimed, of his fiery nature. Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus entered a world steeped in blood. His family tree is a grim tapestry. His great-great-grandfather paraded enemies' heads, his grandfather gouged out a knight's eye for dissent, his father, Gnaeus Domitius Ahenobarbus, declared his newborn son a curse to Rome. Prophetic words. His mother, Agrippina the Younger, was Rome's most dangerous woman, sister to Emperor Caligula, great-granddaughter of Augustus, and a master of ruthless ambition. Exiled for plotting against her brother, widowed under suspicious circumstances, she schemed to crown her son emperor. When Lucius was 3, his father died, likely poisoned. Caligula seized the family's wealth, banishing Agrippina to a barren island. The boy, left with his aunt Lepida and 2 servants, a dancer and a barber, seemed an unlikely future ruler. Agrippina never surrendered. When Caligula was assassinated in 41 AD and her uncle Claudius took the throne, she clawed her way back. She married Gaius Sallustius Pacinus Crispus, a wealthy man who soon died, leaving her his fortune. Then she targeted Claudius, a stammering, aging emperor bewitched by his niece. Roman law forbade their marriage, but emperors bend laws. In 49 AD, 12-year-old Lucius watched his mother become empress, setting his path to power. Agrippina acted swiftly. She persuaded Claudius to adopt her son, renaming him Nero Claudius Caesar Drusus Germanicus. At 13, he received the toga of manhood. At 14, he was named heir, surpassing Claudius's son, Britannicus. At 15, he married Claudius's daughter, Octavia, becoming the emperor's son-in-law. But Agrippina grew impatient. In October 54 AD, Claudius ate a meal of mushrooms, his favorite dish, and died in agony, likely poisoned by Agrippina with help from Locusta, a professional poisoner. At 7. Nero's early reign seemed promising. He hesitated to sign death warrants, saying, "I wish I had never learned to write." He cut taxes, gave gifts, and vowed to emulate Augustus. But privately, cracks appeared. His tutor, Seneca, feared he was teaching another Caligula. Nero's first target was Britannicus, his 14-year-old stepbrother, a potential rival. At a palace banquet, Britannicus sipped wine laced with Locusta's poison. His body convulsed, his face turned blue, and he collapsed, foam spilling from his mouth. Nero, unfazed, dismissed it as an epileptic fit, ordering the body removed and the feast to continue. For 5 years, the Quinquennium Neronis, Nero's advisors Agrippina, Seneca, and Praetorian prefect Burrus restrained his impulses, guiding Rome to stability. But Agrippina demanded control, insisting on advising state affairs and appearing on coins. Nero, craving freedom for chariot racing, stage performances, and lovers, resented her dominance. Nero's obsession with Poppaea Sabina, the immoral wife of his friend Marcus Salvius Otho, deepened the rift. Poppaea whispered that Nero was his mother's puppet, while Agrippina praised Britannicus, a fatal mistake. Nero resolved to kill her. Agrippina's popularity and paranoia made it challenging. She used food tasters and antidote experts. Nero devised a trap, a boat with a collapsible roof to crush her during a festival at Baiae in 59 AD. The roof fell, but killed her friend Acerronia. Agrippina, a skilled swimmer, escaped and reached shore. Panicked, Nero ordered Anicetus, his fleet admiral, to finish her. Soldiers stormed her villa, finding her drenched and defiant. She stood tall and commanded, "Strike my womb first, where I bore such a monster." They hacked her down until Rome's most powerful woman lay dead. Nero felt relief, not remorse. The Roman people, horrified by matricide, spread rumors that he gloated over her corpse. The story, true or not, reflected his growing monstrose. With Agrippina gone, Nero's restraint vanished. He indulged in chariot races, theatrical performances, and shocking sexual escapades. His marriage to Octavia bored him. Poppaea, now divorced, fueled his bloodlust. He poisoned Marcus Junius Silanus, a descendant of Augustus, and executed Rubellius Plautus on flimsy pretexts. Burrus died, likely poisoned, and Seneca retired. By 62 AD, Nero answered to no one. Octavia's popularity made her a problem. Nero tried divorcing her, then accused her of adultery. Under torture, her alleged lovers confessed to fabricated charges. Riots erupted demanding her reinstatement, but Poppaea convinced Nero she was a threat. Exiled to Panditaria, Octavia was executed at 20. Soldiers opened her veins, letting her blood drain. Her severed head was presented to Poppaea, who smiled. 12 days later, Nero married Poppaea in a lavish ceremony. On July 18, 64 AD, a fire sparked near the Circus Maximus, engulfing Rome for 6 days. 3/4 of the city burned, leaving thousands dead and homeless. Some claim Nero aided victims, others, like Tacitus, say he sang of Troy's destruction from a tower, treating the inferno as inspiration. Seizing the opportunity, Nero planned the Domus Aurea, a colossal palace with a rotating dining hall and a 120-foot statue of himself. As construction began amid ashes, whispers grew that Nero set the fire to clear land. To deflect blame, Nero targeted Christians. Their executions became sadistic spectacles, burned as human torches, torn by dogs, or crucified in theatrical displays. Nero directed these horrors, adjusting lighting for maximum effect. Nero's cruelty escalated with Poppaea's death in 65 AD. Pregnant again, she argued with Nero, possibly over his chariot obsession. In a rage, he kicked her abdomen, killing her and their unborn child. He showed no remorse. His fixation turned to Sporus, a young slave resembling Poppaea. Nero ordered him castrated, dressed as a woman, and married him in a grotesque ceremony. Sporus, forced to play empress, endured relentless abuse trapped in a role he could never escape. Nero forced nobles to fight as gladiators or perform on stage. His nighttime rampages saw him attack citizens for sport, while his debauched parties featured torture and executions as entertainment. By 66 AD, Nero's excesses eroded support. He toured Greece, rigging every festival victory and collecting 1,800 crowns. Returning to Rome, he paraded like a conqueror, but the treasury was bankrupt, and new taxes strained the population. Rebellions sparked in Gaul, Spain, and Africa. Nero, delusional, planned a theatrical tour of Egypt, dismissing the revolts as minor. On June 8, 68 AD, the Praetorian Guard abandoned him. The Senate declared him a public enemy, sentencing him to death by flogging. Alone, Nero fled to the villa of his freedman Phaon, crawling through a tunnel to hide in a basement. As soldiers closed in, he wept over looted possessions, unable to face death. Urged by his companions, he attempted suicide but faltered. Epaphroditus guided the dagger into his throat. With his last breath, Nero gasped, "Qualis artifex perio?" What an artist dies in me. Nero's death sparked celebration across Rome and the empire. His name was erased from monuments, his palace destroyed. Sporus vanished into obscurity, his fate unknown. Historians like Tacitus and Suetonius recorded his crimes with disgust, struggling to capture his depravity. Nero's reign ended the Julio-Claudian dynasty, ushering in chaos. His story warns of unchecked power's corruption, a lesson echoing through history. The emperor who saw himself as a god died alone, a coward in a squalid basement, his legacy not art, but pain and destruction.